Okay, we are live. Happy Monday, everybody.
Happy Super Monday, Matt.
Yeah, super duper Monday.
Did you even get to sleep this weekend?
Yeah, I slept, but
That's
my
good.
my group kept me awake a lot.
Oh, I know.
Lot,
Did you like
lot,
order
lot.
all your food in, or did you ever leave the house?
No, I cook a lot, so that's
That's
what I do. Yeah.
that's awesome. I like to cook too, but I went out a lot this weekend. I'm like, we had like many celebratory meals where we like either went out or like I went to the cookout up the street and then brought it back.
Oh, nice.
Cookout and they make hamburgers and shakes and stuff.
Oh yeah, I've been to a cookout. I've been on some road trips before. I've seen
Yeah,
those.
yeah. Well, good morning, everyone. Without further ado, so that we don't run out of time, we'll just get started on Bitcoin. Here's my Bitcoin chart. I'm looking for, so you can see right here, price already hit the monthly R2. It's hard to read this, but this is 82,299. We got right into it. It also hit the R1 for today, just slightly above that. And now it looks like maybe it wants to try to, it's either going to flag, push higher, get over it, and move on up to the next R month, head towards the next R level. But it just as likely could. You can see over the weekend it tested back down to this 78,500 level. Maybe we might see this daily like a mini crash back to the daily pivot of 79,487. Why do I have this on here? I think I was trying to line up something from this weekend. Oh, I know. I was thinking that it would run up, that we would see my 100% fib extension at 84,630, and then it would like start to retest back to some level. In which case this is upside down. Anyway, how about you, Matt? What do you think? Think we'll get to 84,630, or do you think like this is all of the oomph we've got for now?
Well, I'll just share mine right here. Go to my 4-hour Bitcoin chart, and my 4-hour chart seems to imply that it has more room to go. So I think it could go
Hmm.
83, maybe 84.4. But my higher time frame weekly chart that I've shown forever is at resistance. So what I can see is, yeah, it could go up to the 83, 84 and just become a wick. And then we'll see if they want to close it on Sunday above my angle or not. But it's basically there right now. So it's at resistance on this
You
linear
know,
chart.
something I see right now, just looking at your chart. Wait, go back. Right here, right here.
Yeah.
Look back. Every time it's challenged this line, the last two times it's challenged this line in the
Yeah.
past, there was enough exuberance to push it over the line, then
Yeah.
try to test back to it, and then it failed the previous two times.
Yeah.
So I think I'm positing perhaps there's enough exuberance to push it over the line this time again, test back to it, and maybe it'll hold this time.
Well, I see this above too, the 1.272, the 83,558 from the previous all-time high to that. So I can see price gravitating there, and this chart does confirm that it wants to gravitate to the 83,000s as well. So I can see that during this week. Yeah, I think price will go higher before it goes lower, but I am not sure how they're going to close the week out on Sunday, whether it's going to be just a big wick up top and close below, or yeah, maybe try to build a base and go higher. I'm not sure. But just wanted to let you guys know this is basically a resistance zone from current price all the way up to 84,000, I would say. So just if you're expecting some more craziness, I don't know. I think it might be a little bit muted right now simply because it's at resistance. So
I need just 1 second. Can you talk about your Conell for a minute? And I want to I just want to make sure I'm reposting our stream here on my profile.
yeah, I'll talk about coin first because
Yeah, please, 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 please.
yeah.
Yeah.
So going to coin, uh, log scale here, it looks like it's going to open up right around my the blue arc right here, and kind of close to the 886 to 318 up there. But on linear scale, just want to point out that basically the 310 51 is that 702 level. Also, when you go to the weekly chart here, yeah, you can see that it's gapping up above the 618 and that means 310.51 could be that resistance for coin today. But if not, then it has potential to even go up towards near the 786 at 343. But either way, it's going to be a big gap up just straight above the 618. So a back test of that in the future could be possible, right? So do not get all anxious and think that, oh, I must buy, it's over 300. I don't know. I think chasing sometimes could be dangerous because it does like prices do like to back test levels before they continue higher. So that's just one thing I'm considering for that. And I'll let you share your Conell chart if you want.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to go follow up right with you with my coin chart.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Good morning, everybody, if you're just joining us. So here's my Coinbase chart. You can see we had a gap down here last on November 5th. I'm sorry, November 6th. And then we had another gap this morning here, November 11th. And it already went up here and just about winged this Fibonacci parallel channel. And right up here at 322, there it is. The highs was 321.82. And now it's mired right here at the daily R2 level. Kind of hard to read with my little dots over it. It's a 306.07. And so price wicked through it. We're just under it again right now. Maybe when the market opens, it might retest it again. If the market decides to, if Bitcoin pulls back, if the market decides to test back, then we could see the weekly pivot down here at 240.72. But first, it's going to have to get to this R3 monthly at 281.83. So really, just taking backwards. Maybe it tests back to the R1. I'm sorry, the monthly R3 here at 281.83. It's right. It wicked over my 123.6% fib extension at 307.13. I do also. Why did I delete my lines? Let's see. Let me take a look back here. So for my wave one start, 114, we got, oh no, here we go. Oh, man. 100%, 236. See, it could go to 200% or just the 1382. I think I think there's a very good chance that it'll see 329.88 before pulling back. And it could be, it should be a pullback to the 100% level at 270.35. Let me just move these. I was like prepared to be super bullish and have it just go to the 1618. But in light of everything else, let's call it for 329.88, then back to 270.35, and then up to this is my typical setup, the 2382 at 485.72. I'm just making, I got to go to a bigger chart. Just see this. Yeah, let's try this instead. All right, so that's coin going to 485.72 before a major ABC corrective 3 waves down. And so we could get the wave 4. Let's take a look here. Theory of alternation says that if the wave 2 is very long, wave 4 will be shorter. This was kind of long, so I think this will be a pretty acute wave 4 here if we get this pulled back to 270. And that is my technical analysis for coin. Oh, and then Conell, right?
Yeah, Conell, yeah.
So, if we do get a little higher, see, originally my TA, I was calling for like an ABC up to the 76.4. Maybe it just goes straight to the 764. That would be $80.93 with a pullback to the 382 at $49 before heading up to 132.44. I'd say if we start to see Bitcoin try to get over, if it gets over the next level, starts to form a base and push higher, but then lose it, maybe we'll get this ABC. Or it could just go straight on up. Oh man, this is gonna be tough. A tough call. It would make sense to get this ABC like this, but maybe it just goes straight to 80.93. I'm gonna hang on. I've got 1,000 shares of Conell You're at 66. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to try this. I'm going to sell. I might sell my whole. I'm recommending to other people sell like half your stake or more, but I'll probably sell all my stake and then just if it comes back to 53.71, I'll buy it back here.
Yeah,
And if it,
I see a request, or not a request. I see somebody asking me about Conell if I'm going to take profits, and I was just talking to Tracker about that this morning too. And I think essentially around 310, 311 for coin. If it gets back there, then yeah, I'll probably just get out of it because I think I still have my coin position, so there's no point in just being over leveraged at this point near resistance. So I'm just a little cautious guy at resistance always. So that's my strategy. But if it ever went back down, I would probably reload. But if not, then okay, it's fine. I still have my coin position.
yeah, and it's all about risk reward. I mean, do you really want to risk another like 5-6% move gain, but risk losing like 14%? What is this difference here?
Yeah, and
Right
I just use
now,
I just use the leverage ETFs as like a trading vehicle, anyways. I know like Cat, he wants to keep it forever or whatever his Connell. So it's just different strokes for different folks, you know.
yeah, it's a 9% potential upside from where we are right now to an 11.6% downside from where we are now to where I'm calling for support. There's your differential diagnosis.
All right, very good. I see a request for Hut, so I'll just jump on that one real quick. So Hut 8, pre-market is challenging, and it looks like it's gapping up above the previous highs over here. So that's actually a good development for Hut, and I can see a continuation towards like the previous wicks here, 22s, and even maybe the 25.78. But it's looking more and more likely that this 50% level does want to be a support once again. So that is good for the future. So I can see positive developments, but still has a little bit more stuff to overcome before it gets a lot more bullish. But I think the target will be at least around $26.
All right, and I've got my Hut chart up here too. Your $26 target looks really good for the monthly R3 pivot. It'll be this pivot all month long. R3 is up here, $27.05. We could see it hit there, come back down to 22.72, and then bounce up to my Wave A target for 34.06 with a retest, and see it would have hit, maybe bounced off of this R2 earlier to foreshadow it as support for 22.53, and then on up to the Wave C target. The 61.8 is $52.69. There's my larger degree, my weekly Hut target, my Hut chart, and 76.4. There's a chance for this to extend in Wave C up here, but I'll know better when I see what kind of supports are formed on top of the 382 level. What else we got?
Rocket Lab.
Oh yeah, don't sleep on Rocket Lab, guys. I kind of slept on this one myself a little bit. I think it just wants to complete the rest of this move up to 1712 for a 76.4% fib retracement all the way back to its previous all-time high of 2134. I'm sorry. So yeah, I'm looking for 1712, and then an ABC retrace back towards. I think I'm initially targeting this level here, 889. So no, wait, maybe it was this one. I can't remember. Maybe it's this level here. Anyway, I drew this ABC back to 1030, and then from 1030, we'll have a nice wave start, wave one, wave two, and then it goes into the larger degree next wave cycle up, which tops out at 42.54 for me. So you could just, yeah, I would definitely at least sell half your position at hang it into 1712, sell half of it, see if it gets back here to $10 or not. If it does, load the boat. If it doesn't, you can start DCAing as we approach this 50% level at 1241, and then just look forward to it to double. No, more than double. 42 to quadruple to 42.54. from a low of 10. If we got that low.
Oh, very good. Yeah, I'll just share mine real quick. What I see, yeah, it's breaking above my Gann arc there. It's going towards the 786 right now. It's actually basically almost exactly on it. My log scale fib from the all-time high to the all-time low. Well, that's not really the all-time low. The all-time low is kind of like right here. Or is it here? Yeah. Yeah, so it's a little bit above right now, right? 1447. So that is looking good, right? 1452. So if it kind of gaps up above that, then yeah, maybe tracker is onto something that it might want to go up to the 1735, which is around his zone that he just talked about. So yeah, some confluence there, but I am a little bit cautious always around the 786 regardless. So just do with that information with what you will. But yeah, it's a bullish chart, but it is approaching a resistance zone.
Yeah, if you've got a lot of profit in Rocket Lab, there's no harm in taking some of it, and then watch the $13.93 level, the monthly R2. If it gets over it to like 1451, then test back to it, then it could launch off from there and then get to the 1712 level. But from here, where price is right now, the 1712, that is a 27% increase. But if it's done at the R2 and pulls back to 1083, that is a 20% decrease. There's your differential diagnosis. A 27% upside versus a possible 20% downside.
Yeah. And people are requesting your DXYZ that everybody loves. So I'll flip back to you.
All right, DXY. Sorry, my cat always decides that when I'm speaking is the time to get under my lap.
Oh yeah, they need
He's got these like long back claws. I need to trim them more. All right, this is crazy. For the DXYZ chart, I have to go to my 1 hour time scale because I think it could top out in four. Actually, now we've lost an hour. In 3 hours from now, I think it could top out at $70. I know it's crazy, right? Maybe we get another enormous melt up. Anyway, that's my target. I'm targeting $70, possibly today. That would get it over the monthly. Can't see it on this chart. Let me go to 4 hour. That would get it. I'm sorry, over the weekly R2 of 67.97. If it starts to slow down or pause, that's where it's going to pause. It'll slow down under 62.81 or 62.97, and if it fails to get a higher high, that'll be all she wrote. But if it can get over it, test back to $63, then I'm looking for $70. And then I'm kind of waiting for the actual top to come in before I draw the ABC retrace. But I guess I could just do a quick preview. Down here, it could come. Oh, like this would be this. Where it is right now would be the support level. So if it runs as high as $70, then it would do an ABC back down to $45 again, before that becoming the wave one. Does it have to get deeper for wave two? Maybe, and then wave two, and then it becomes a new higher high cycle. Oh, let me show you this. Wait, is this right? Is this the one I'm thinking of? No, is it? Wait, monthly chart. No, I'm sorry. There's a different one that goes even higher than this. Yeah, this is the all-time high of 105, and it is working on doing an ABC retrace back to that 70% level of 100, which would be $70. Yeah, for 76.4% retrace would be 76. Anyway, blah 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 blah. My mouth just can't keep up with my words.
Well, a lot of people are asking about like AMD and Nvidia and Tesla. So,
do you have a DXYZ?
I don't. I don't really. I haven't really charted it, so we'll just go
No
on.
worries. It is. If you are a subscriber and you look at my spreadsheet, it is the number one most. It's right on the top of my chart, my top 20. I've got a top 20 now. All right, AMD. Yeah, I like. It's hit support. I mean, it found support down here for the wave two bottom at 120.52, and it is headed to 300, 398.84 next. That's the 1618. Now, I guess old tracker, I mean, from 2023 to 2024, I would say that it tops out the 1382 at 280. But new 2025 tracker says 300. So I'm starting to extend these things up to the 1618 for 2025, and we'll see how well that works out. And then if I can just keep doing that for all the stocks in 2025 or not. But yeah, it's gonna, it's gonna hit some resistance, a pocket of resistance at 179 again, but it should be able to get over it, test above it, and continue on.
All right. I have a chart too. Let me pull up mine. So yeah, the AMD chart I'm focused on is this 886, the 145, that level from the previous all-time high to that low here on log scale. I do like that level a lot, holding that support. And when you look at it, yeah, it's a little bit stuck underneath the arc and the angle, or sorry, and the level, but that's okay because it's still like following it down a little bit. So it can continue that for some weeks. But it also kind of looks like an inverse head and shoulders developing as well. So this has the potential to get back on top of that 149 and flip it back to support to go higher. So yeah, it's just kind of like in the bottoming process of finding its new higher low, it looks like. So just got to be patient with it while the rotation into coin and Tesla and all the other stuff is going on. So it is looking good, but might take some time to get out of its little slump right here.
Yeah, be patient. So, I've got this new scoring system. Just go real quick. Top 20. Yeah, AMD is not even in my top 20 because of the time component on how long it'll take to get to. It's 100% move from where it is now to my wave 3 top. And because of the time component, it's not in my top 20.
All right, let's go to Nvidia next. So Nvidia, I still think it's going to gravitate towards 152.38. That's the 2.272 fib from the 2021 high and that low in 2022. So that's my target, and I think it's going to gravitate there before any kind of major pullback or anything. But that's my next target. So it's almost there, almost there.
Oh yeah. Let's see. What I see on my chart is 153 is the weekly R1 pivot all week long. If it for any reason it went back, it already kind of looks like it tested the pre-tested the weekly pivot down below at 144. My chart hasn't changed. Basically, I'm looking for the wave 3 top up here at 182.63. Could possibly go to 195 for the 1382. I've got it right here. Might extend to 195.27. Yeah, Nvidia's just going up from here. Does it make my top 10? Oh, you know what I need to do? There's a couple more things I've got to measure on Nvidia before I can fairly regard it against my other top holdings. But yeah, I see 182.63 for it overall next. For the 1236 extension, possibly the 1382 to 195. So it might be slower going now, but it's going to get there. Oh wait, and then to compare percentages, so that is a 23% move higher to the 1236, or a 31% move higher to the 1382. See, it's not as exciting as like Rocket Lab or ASTS or whatever, what have you. What were we just talking? Oh yeah, DXYZ. DXYZ. Oh my god, DXYZ. If you guys haven't heard me say this already, it had like a month ago. It had like a 37% exposure to SpaceX. And now, of course, it's much bigger than that. It's probably it could be as high as half of the holding of SpaceX.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, let's do. I know everybody wants to see Tesla, so here is Tesla next. And so, yeah, I closed on Friday just below the 702, the halfway fib, but now it's approaching the 347. So this is the be cautious zone here on linear scale from the all-time high to that low in January. We can see 347.58. That is maybe the target this week. Let's see if it can wick above or even close above. That would be even more bullish. But usually the first touch after a big downtrend, there is some resistance there and maybe not sure it can break through the first try. So bullish chart once again, right? I mentioned on my video on Friday, it made a higher high. So this is a good bullish chart, but I'm not sure if it really, really is going to break through the 786 this week. But that's going to be my eye for the whole week, 347.58. And people are asking, will it go back to 300? At this point, I don't know. Like maybe back to 320s, but it would take a lot to go back to like the 618 down here, the 295. I'm not sure if it's really. I'm not sure if the market makers are going to let people back in down there, to be honest. So
yeah. I've got. I'll walk you through what I posted this morning for Tesla. Right here, boom. My promise to you fulfilled. I said Tesla would hit 330 before the end of the year, 2024, and we already hit that in pre-market. In fact, it gapped over it. So you're welcome. You're welcome. I had the song in my head all this morning. Dwayne Johnson singing this as the Loki-like character from Moana. Anyway, on the Friday close, I said the next probable resistance was 336.87. That's my 100% fib extension to 340.70 for the monthly R3. It's the monthly R3 all month long. And in fact, it opened pre-market over both these or down here and gapped right over that. And so this is super bullish. If price wanted to test back, we would be lucky to get anything that even approached the daily pivot of 315. We'll have to see what the daily pivot is tomorrow. But even now, I think he just wants to keep going. So anyway, the next weekly pivot above the R1 pivot. Oh, actually, I should say this: the R1, the center pivot point for the week is down here at 296.79. Just as Matt said, I don't think the market is going to let us get in there. I think we're seeing all the shorts getting liquidated, and margin calls are just we're getting the short squeeze here. And the higher it goes, the more of them get caught, and the faster they're squeezed out. So looking higher, the weekly R1 is up here at 354.71 all week long, and the weekly R2 is up here at 386.82. That's the weekly R2 all week long. And my next significant fib level above the 100% level, which was 336.87, we got above that, is 383.61. So let's look for this is where my eyes are next. Up here looking at the 383.61.
Do you think it's going to keep smashing through levels this week?
I think it very well could be because remember I showed you guys the three paths that we were on. We've already ruled out the yellow path. We're not doing 290 and then back down. So and right here, this is the brown path that's in sight. This goes to 761. So I think it's possible that if we just get a fractal version of what we got from 2020 to 2021, this time it'll go to 761 with nary a look back. So, and I told everybody over this weekend, the 300s are going to go very fast because all that does is, do I have it on this chart? We're simply just we're just going back through the, when these triangles resolve, like price, from the 414.50 high to the 101 low, and it just like got stuck in this consolidation pattern that has built up all this pressure and is finally releasing. When these triangles release their pressure, they end significantly higher than when they started. So we're not just testing 415.89. That's the next test where we just rocket through it. And that's why I've got 718.47 is my next target for here. If we got the blue path, we would see a pullback from 415, a significant pullback from 415. So I can't tell you if we're on the blue path or the brown path until we test the all-time high and see what happens next from there.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's you can see this on I posted this morning for all to see. My TA on Tesla will be free to everyone forever, as my promise to you as the Tesla tracker.
Very, very good. I see some other requests coming in here. Oh, yeah, Novavax. They have some news this morning. I guess they're not putting on a hold anymore.
It's
I
good news.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have my chart here, and yeah, it's getting back above my 45-degree angle here on log scale, and the 236 is at 1032 as well. So it did want to find a bottom, and I was saying the whole time last week that it was just back testing the 100 moving average right there, and that's exactly what it did. So just a double tap of it like once and twice, and now it's just recovering. So I can see these levels recovering. But my goal is to just get back on top of this 1032. Let's see if it can do that this week. And if it can, then maybe build that base and go back to 20. Like anything is possible with this stock. It's very volatile. So you got to be able to be nimble, go in and out. But I did like it down in this zone. So I did do a lot of accumulating myself. And now I'm just ready to see if it can enjoy the ride. Maybe at least up to 14 and then possibly even 20. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, good news for Novavax, but it still needs to recover the 1032 to get more bullish.
All right, can you show me show my chart real quick? I want to show you guys my NVAX chart. So I'm scrolling this back. I'm pulling this back. Oh, I'm still pulling it back. I look at Novavax as wanting to reclaim, retest this. It's an ABC retrace back to the 61.8% fib of the recent high of 331.68. Nay, the all-time high of 331.68. And so there is another over like almost 1,300% move higher for this stock. So what we've got now is just a taste of what we got. I've got 1,800 shares of this right now. I'm just going to let them ride all the way up to 128.88. I'll expect this pullback to $81 and then on up to 206.33. And that's if we just get the 61.8. There is a chance for it to extend higher to 254.24. And that would be a 215% move off of the wave B bottom. But it's also a 2,660% increase from where price is right now. So there you have it. That's why I've got 1,800 shares of NVAX.
Very good. They're asking about CLSK news. Do you know anything else about that? Is it going to start trading today?
It is Veterans Day today, so the SEC is closed today. There will be no new developments on CLSK today. We'll have to wait till tomorrow.
So the shorts will have to get liquidated tomorrow. No.
Yeah, the shorts exactly. Well, yeah, right. They can't even. Nobody can trade it. The stock is halted. They're acquiring another company, and it is on that news that they they had the halt.
Yeah. All right. I see MSTR. You got one of those?
I do.
MSTR.
MicroStrategy. I'm going to orient myself here for a second. I've got it. I think it's done already. Let me go to the 4-hour chart. Did it do this? Yes, it's already. All right, so MicroStrategy has hit my 100% fib target at $300.58. It kind of wicked above it a little bit here. Maybe I should take this as a sign for what's going on with Bitcoin and Conell and Coin and all that. MicroStrategy hit my 100% fib. I'm looking for a pullback to 253.48 ish. It might just, if it does it, maybe if it takes to next week, this will be the pivot next week. But this week the pivot's 257. No, I can see that. It's does that before. It'll hit the pivot. It'll go sneak down a little past it and then back up again. So maybe it gets a strong pullback to 253.48 and then on up to the 1236. No, I did the 1618 here for 423.92. Yeah, it's kind of nuts. That's from where price is right now, possibly a 15% pullback, and then from there, if it did indeed go to 253.48 for you, then it is it's at least a 48%, 49% move higher to the 1382 of 376.82. Or, if it goes into 2025, my more bullish 1618 target of $423.92. That's a 67% upside for MicroStrategy. If you guys want bigger exposure, there's a MSTX, which is was it 1.75 or is it 2x?
Yeah, I think it's 1.75. Yeah.
Yeah, 1.75x ETF of MicroStrategy.
And yeah, I'll show mine real quick. And yeah, it hit the blue level of them again. That's the same exact target for tracker 300. It hit,
Yeah.
right? It's there right now pre-market. So yeah, it's caution warranted really. And it's right in the middle basically between the two fibs, the 1.414 extension and the 1.272. So anything is possible. It can break up towards the 340 or it could retest the 245, right? This is a volatile stock, but right now it's at a blue level, right? And the last time it was at the orange level, like it was there for a long time, right? It was a very, very important zone. So I expect this to be a very important zone too in the future. And you can see there is a lot of resistance up above in this zone from the 340s to the 400s, right? It could just stay in this zone for a while before it really wants to break out. Not sure. But just I'm always cautious near resistance, and it's basically right there right now. But with Bitcoin, my target maybe is going up to 84 this week, but I want to see how it closes the weekly candle because it can still go up to these 84,000 levels before retracing, right? And if it did retrace, it could even come back down to like 78, 79,000. So that could be very volatile for Coinbase and MicroStrategy. So can't be too greedy, right, guys? Just if you had a nice gain, nobody ever got hurt taking a profit.
That's right. Hey, Matt, let me ask you a question. Do you think, is it possible that MicroStrategy buyers got ahead of themselves on MicroStrategy versus Bitcoin?
Well, yeah, it was front ran before, right? Like all of this move, it was moving way before Bitcoin was moving. So I think that's possible. So if maybe it'll front run the decline too. So if it starts going down before Bitcoin does, then that could be a sign right there. So we'll just pay attention to this $300 level really to see how it reacts.
Mm. And DK says that MSTX was 1.75x. Now it is 2x.
Oh, it's 2x now.
Yeah.
Okay. They got greedy. Nice. Well, we're
No,
running out of time. Yeah, you can do one more just so we're running out of time. So go ahead.
I was just going to say, DK did say, he says Mar just announced acquiring 3 new data centers in Ohio, 372 megawatts of capacity.
Oh, nice.
All right. No, I won't hold you up, Matt. I know you got a whole bunch of stuff you got to get done. That is a busy Monday morning.
Busy Monday, yes, guys. So thank you for joining our show, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Yep. See you tomorrow, and then tomorrow night will be the Triumvirate meets again for the coverage of the Everything Rally.
Yes, it'll be exciting.
Very exciting.
Be sure to tune in. 2 hours on that show. 2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours of just nonstop fun.
All right, guys. See you then.
All right, Matt. Thanks.
All right. Bye-bye.
Is the mic off now? Does this become the next show?